That's it.
There we go. Alright, sorry, I was going to sniff. No, I was sniffing the microphone for a laugh. When last time this happened, I just went in straight away and just started shouting. I get told no, I get put back a wee bit, so I was waiting for the lights, camera, action, man. I just thought for a laugh. We've got Bo in here in the studio and he's kind of watching me, so I gave the microphone a wee sniff there, just for a laugh. So I don't know if you'll keep that in, but fair play if we do. Anyway, how he's doing, guys? Hello, everybody out there. It is Ravie Davie, the Fresh Prince of Drummoyne Square, and I am joined by
Georgia.
And this is episode not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7, but episode
8.
Aye.
Of the 10 years in podcast.
You know
what? Did say that's what's happening, troops?
No, I was about to say, actually, in this podcast, we have 8 because we are 8 episodes in now, and this is further than we thought we'd get.
Definitely more episodes than I expected. I think I expected maybe 3 or 4, but I feel that as the weeks are going, we're getting more and more stuff to talk about.
Even though we were absolutely arguing like nobody's business before we were coming out of the cell, not
really ready to kill each other, and Bo told the both of us just to calm down.
Relax.
So
can't we got the podcast like that? I said.
So we got young Bo in the studio tonight. We are actually recording in advance because, as we said on episode 7, that Curtis has rudely decided to go on holiday.
Shocking,
so
man.
we just recorded on Monday. Now it's Thursday, so I've came straight for work.
Yep, so have I. Well, actually, I've also came straight for work, but I'm dressed up the night for once. I know this is my what do you call it? My interpretation of dressed up, because obviously I'm a tramp. But I'm going to see Blink 182 tonight, 182. So that's why I am in a different attire. Georgia just came straight for work, but the excuse that I'm dressed up with, I don't work as somebody that sells CDs and HMV or anything like that. Not me, I'm dressed up a wee bit better than usual. Look at my shorts on.
So he's headed straight to Blink 182, but in 2 episodes ago, I think it was episode 6, I commented and said that you dress like Adam Sandler, and since then David has done nothing but sent me memes of Adam Sandler trying to prove his point about why Adam Sandler's so cool.
Well, Adam Sandler, apparently there's Adam Sandler aura. He's got he's what you call it? He's a style icon.
Aye.
So even though you don't like it, there's plenty of people out there who do like it, and obviously I'm one of them.
It was so funny because in the video, Adam Sandler's saying to the guy, I just go into my room and I pick out the first thing I see, and that's exactly the same words that you said to me.
The day I was wearing my wee Bo t-shirt. I've got a wee Bo t-shirt, and that was just the first one that I picked out, which is funny because obviously I was walking Bo into school before I headed out today, and he was telling me that I could walk him to school, but as long as I didn't wear that t-shirt because it would embarrass him.
Aye, so Bo's got his own merchandise that he was trying to get us to buy for him so he could sell it to people, but we objected to that, and we just bought a t-shirt for me, David and Bo. So anytime that David does walking Bo to school, David pulls out this t-shirt specifically so he can try and embarrass him.
Well, you want me to walk you to school when you're nearly 25, man? I'll be embarrassing. No, but on a serious note, life's too short to be matching clays, and it's even shorter to be worrying about odd socks. Not about matching socks. So you'll see me kicking about with t-shirt, my good JB Dub t-shirt, with my Nike shorts, one Adidas sock, one Nike sock, either my nice brand new pair of shoes on, or a beat up shitey pair of running shoes that are ripped and all that and soaked right through. I don't really dress for any occasion. I dress for whatever is the quickest, because as I says, I'm very, as we said on one of the previous episodes, I'm very spontaneous, so I've not got time. It's just time wasted if I'm sitting, looking through what mixes and what matches. Honestly, I don't care either who am I trying to impress. I'll go to one of my dreams, not him.
That's him. He's hoping I come back and pick him up for the high roller night. That's why he's saying that and try to be nice.
It's heard this awful to me and saying to me, I didn't expect her to come and get me. She's like, oh, I can't come get you for the high roller night. I was like, I wasn't expecting it. It finishes at 10:30. You go to bed at 8.
I know it's quite late for me being here the night.
Know, man.
But anyways, right, we're on episode 8, and we shared some things on Instagram today just to say how grateful we are for everybody who's been watching, sharing the podcast, liking it, giving us a wee review and stuff on Spotify, and also subscribing. But now, because we've had like so many thousand views, we'll get like notifications to let us know that what our statistics are, or our analytics, and
show the camera how you spell.
I'm not writing it right. I wrote statistics and analytics in the same word. The spelling is so bad.
In the last episode that's not actually been out yet, I actually talk about how Georgia is very, very smart. She can manage teams and do all these things in banking and mortgages and all that stuff, but she can't spell words like tuna or statistics. And I
spelled tuna wrong one time. You've never let me get away with it.
Spelt it like chew. It's CHEWNER.
No,
tuna.
I didn't.
No, I mean, or was it like tuna?
Not CHUNA.
That's not even worse. That's even worse, man.
But what I want to say about the statistics is that over 50% of our viewers are male. So, one, thank you to the males, but also ladies, what's happening? What is happening, ladies?
So the ladies that are commenting as well, not I mean, all the guys are secret viewers. So that's one thing I'll tell you.
Being fair, 50.6% are male, 42.1% are female, and I'm at, why does the other one say non-specific? And then I'm like, oh, it actually says non-specified. So
so they are not said, or they don't.
Non-binary. And majority of our viewers are between the ages of 28 and 34. That means that me and you're in the same age bracket. Does that make you feel old?
No, obviously not. Cause did it make you feel old? Cause
no, you're constantly going about how old am I?
You're about 6 years older than me.
No.
Oh no, that's my sister. That's Mandy. You're 3 or 4 years older than me.
2.
5.
2.
We'll see. Anyway.
So what I wanted to talk about today, we've got another wee story, well, a big story, and it's just on the back of Curtis telling us that he wanted to go to Amsterdam.
I know, he doesn't want to go anywhere. No, he waited too long.
So on Monday when we came in, he said, right, okay, I'm going to go to Amsterdam. I said, oh, we've got a story about Amsterdam.
A big story.
And then we've come in the night, he said that the prices have increased by 200 quid. That's why you should have got meat shopping for your holidays. But, so Amsterdam, we've been to Amsterdam how many times? Twice?
Don't know, I've been about 5 times.
Well, this is the part of the story. So, when me and David had long been going out with each other, David's birthday is in January the 19th, my birthday's February the 8th. So, sometimes what we do, instead of buying, trainers or anything for each other, we maybe go somewhere on holiday. So, I think at this point we decided that we were going to go to Amsterdam and we're going to do it for both our birthdays. And this was no long after you'd started wrestling, so this must have been... Why are you laughing already?
I actually can tell you exactly when it was. So I started wrestling training March 2014, so this would have been February 2015.
That was so impressive that you remembered that, but what I told you...
it would have been because I started getting... No, it would have been a bit after it.
I think it was 2017.
No, it was before that as well, but it was definitely 2015, but I'm talking, I don't think it was February. I know it was we were there for your birthday.
It doesn't really matter.
No, it does, kinda ish. It was in between February and that because it was before it was after I'd made my debut, which was in February, and before I started wrestling for that company that I was wrestling for.
So at the time, David had just started wrestling. He'd had his first wrestling match, and
actually, I'm sorry, but this was actually before my first wrestling match. So I'd had my first wrestling match for my debut, my first ever match, but I hadn't wrestled for ICW, which was the biggest wrestling company in Europe at the time. So I was trying to get myself a foot in the door with ICW, and then this is when this happened.
You got a button again?
Probably, but it's very important to the story, so on you go.
So David I no long started wrestling, and at this point you wanted to gain some attraction you wanted to get more views on Facebook. In fact, you explain this side of the story.
Right, so actually I had already been doing videos to get more views, to try and get myself some fans, and that had caught the eye of Mark Dallas and Chris Renfrew, the people that were running at ICW at the time, and they decided, right, he's not maybe ready for a spot in ICW because it's one of the biggest shows, the biggest wrestling companies in Europe at the time, so why don't we give him a role that he can get seen in front of the fans, get used to them, interact with them, make other fans in the ICW crowd. So they gave me this gimmick. It was called Ravie Davie, the Raven reporter from the scheme for the scheme. So I'd go to ICW and I'd watch the shows, and then I would report back like as if I was reporting to Neds and people for the scheme to kind of try to like, turn it into how they would understand it. So I'd go and do all these interviews at the shows, and then on the weekend of one of the shows, me and Georgia were actually booked in to go to Amsterdam on holiday.
That's right. So part of David's big wrestling gimmick in his new profound role as the reporter, he had decided that he was going to do a video of him waking up in Amsterdam after being drunk the night before. So
so this is the thing about it. So because me and Georgia were away on holiday, so the gimmick was that I was going about and I was interviewing people during the shows, like, oh, I'm Ravie Davie. What do you think one of these guys would handle it in the scheme? How do you think these guys would fare if they went and faced the local young team? All these kind of questions. And on the weekend, one of the shows where we were in Amsterdam, and obviously because I hadn't wrestled for the company yet, I didn't want anything to happen where I'd lose my place. And obviously as well, I thought that this new role that I had been given was the most important part of the show. Not even booking the show, not advertised or anything, but I'm thinking that my part is so important that I need to give fans a reason why I'm not at this next show. So even though me and George were going on holiday to Amsterdam, I made a full proof plan in my head to show the fans why I wasn't there. So on the Thursday night, so George was saying that I had the idea to make the video that I woke up in Amsterdam, which was true, but I actually I made it was intricate, the storyline that I had for it. I went to Box Bar the night before, the Thursday night actually, which is across from the garage where ICW used to wrestle their shows, and I pretended that I was there getting drunk in the off chance that the wrestlers would turn up and I could interview them. And then that was the last video I posted. And then when we were in Amsterdam,
keep going. No, keep going.
When we were in Amsterdam, I was like, right, I need to do a video in Amsterdam to explain to the fans why I'm not here. So I just got my phone out, pretended that I'd woke up in Amsterdam. So I walked out, I was like, oh, where are we? I just woke up, I was in this hotel room, everything was trash. So I ran out to make sure I didn't get in trouble. I can see hundreds of trams everywhere, so I think I'm in Edinburgh. I need to get home. I've got this ICW show on Sunday. And then I start walking up to people. I was like, right, mate, where are we? And the guy doesn't answer me. And then I go up to another guy and I say, where are we, mate? And he goes, oh, we're in Amsterdam. And I was like, what? Like, where are we? He's like, he didn't just say that, did he? And then I speak to one other guy and he's no speaking English. I'm like, oh no, I think I'm actually in Amsterdam. I start showing about where I'm at. And then you actually hear George, I'm like, how am I going to get back for the show on Monday? Oh no. I start putting my horn in my mouth so I can stop for laughing. I'm about to start laughing. I'm like, oh no, I've done this. I can't believe it. And then I've just turned the video off, right? Posted it, put it in my pocket, no thought anything of it. I didn't know the first night.
You fucking thought of it, no, I tell you that.
No, the first night, but
I think you thought of that more than anything you'd ever done in your life.
Aye, but you know what I mean. But remember, I just put the phone away. I always go into the thing about we always say about no thing you've got to go viral, because I just thought this video was for the 30 fans in ICW that might watch me and might know who I'm on, stuff like that. But then the next day, I woke up and I checked my phone and the video had been shared by everybody. The lad Bible had contacted me. Everybody believed I'd woke up in Amsterdam. People are sending me messages worried about me. CNN, Amsterdam, all these news places in Amsterdam and all around Europe were all trying to get in contact with me to sell my story to them. And then I didn't make it back in time for the show, but then it actually caused a bit of friction between myself and Georgia.
Just a bit.
Just a wee tad.
So actually, Masto, that's obviously the background that was going on in David's head, but I was none the wiser at any of this. So obviously as well, he was sort of new to wrestling, so I really didn't understand any of it, but I knew that he was just in this video. We're walking along the main street in Amsterdam and I'm laughing in the background of the video. So if you listen to it, you could hear me laughing. But actually what had happened when we got to Amsterdam, David had been to Amsterdam before, it was my first time. And he was like, no, last time I go to Amsterdam, I just walked right off the train and the hotel that's straight outside the train station. He's like, we stayed there last time, so we'll be able to get in there. We got off, we hadn't booked a hotel. We gets off and we goes into this hotel that David had stayed in before. They were full. So then he was like, shows your phone and I'll just book another one. I know my way around about here. So he books a hotel. We get into the hotel. It was a shared bathroom with everybody else in the hotel and 2 fucking bunk beds. Right? And I think, is this a joke? So anyway, this video took off so well and ended up, it kind of took her a full day. That day, I know you're saying you put your phone in your pocket, but you didn't.
No, the first day I did, because it was the second day when it actually went viral. We were there for the full weekend, but the first day it didn't catch on. Remember, it was like
when we woke up the next day. You said to me, I said, "Oh my God, David, that other hotel was charged my card." So basically, we'd been charged for 2 hotels. And we were only staying in one, the one with the fucking bunk beds. And he went like, "Oh my God, Georgia, that video's got 28,000 views." And I was livid, right? To be honest, see, back then, the urge to get famous and to be noticed and all this would actually take over his life so much.
It was my first ever viral video as well,
angry.
but through wrestling or anything. So I was like, yes, man, it's not just. I'm not just a mad comedy character. This is like, thanks to wrestling, this has happened. So,
so it was just like, he'd been making videos for a long time before that, and then this was the one that really took off. So we basically argued for that point to the full weekend. And then on the last day we were coming home, he's like, "Georgia, do you not understand? The Undertaker never really died." As if to say, basically what he means by that is like,
really did.
Like, do you not understand this? And when we got off the flight in Glasgow, my mum came and picked us up, and she dropped David off, and then I explained to her everything that happened, and she was like, "What's wrong with him? Why is he doing that? And why is he making you feel that way?" She just didn't actually.
I didn't know I was making you feel that way, obviously. I just thought.
No, because you get to a point where you're so blinded by your own, like, this is what I need and what I want, that it doesn't actually, like, nothing else matters when you're in that moment. You can't help yourself. So after that, I was really reluctant to go anywhere with him again. I actually think we'd fell with each other for a good few days after that.
Probably.
So I thought, this guy is an actual nutter. Like, I knew he was nuts because I've knew you all my life. But see, when you're getting affected by it, then it's not the same.
And look at us now, man. Got our own wrestling business and our own wrestling school.
And actually,
so by Daft and Undertaker's still not really did.
He made me go onto my Facebook and delete every picture of me being in Amsterdam, kid onto people that I wasn't there if people were asking me. And I was like, no, I'm not deleting all the pictures and stuff like that. And when I'm on it, he'd like remove himself for the tags on Facebook so that if anybody had checked it up, they would know that I actually went, well, they would think that I wasn't there. But anyway, so I actually made it onto the telly. People in my work, when I worked in the bank, were all coming up and saying to me, "I can't believe David ended up in Amsterdam." I'm like, "This isn't real. What's wrong with these people?"
So end up through the back of it, ITV got in contact about a programme called Holidays from Hell, and they wanted to fly me back to Amsterdam, all inclusive, all expenses paid, to film, honestly, about 20 minutes filming to be done in Amsterdam. So I got that. That was actually, when I went to wrestling training, right, I didn't miss a session for a good, I'd say I went to like 65 sessions in a row. And the only reason I missed out one was because I got flew to Amsterdam by ITV for part of a TV programme that would obviously help with everything I was doing in wrestling. So that was really cool. I ended up selling this. I probably actually, I'm not going to say actually because I don't know say what trouble not even documenting it, but I sold the rights to it a couple of times for different programmes. So the actual footage had been on channel 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 through various different clip shows, so that's been quite cool. It was on Lad Bible where over 10 million people could see it. It ended up on CNN in Greece, CNN Amsterdam, CNN Australia. It ended up all over the news places. It actually ended up, I was the first wrestler to be on Dutch TV in something like 10 years, and I had only wrestled one match. There's a lot of other things that came through, so it did pay off. The Rafa Georgia ended up being worth it because obviously it did bear fruition, and you could probably still see episodes of like Holiday Horrors or Holidays from Hell and stuff if you just click through like Dave and Channel 5 and all these crappy channels. But that was our Amsterdam adventure. Since then we've been back a couple of times.
Yeah, I was so jealous when he got took back because
Actually, technically another story about Amsterdam.
The hotel that they took him back to, like ITV paid for, was so fancy. That one there be a hotel.
They paid for everything on the expense at ITV.
Amazing.
They had a wee miscellaneous budget.
What was your next Amsterdam story?
Remember, obviously before we started Group Each Other, and I was meant to go to Amsterdam with Jim, and I couldn't find my passport, and I thought you stole it.
I was getting the blame for
before we were going to reach her. We were courting, you know what I mean?
And actually it turns out it was down the side of your couch, but I was getting called a psycho and everything.
Well, obviously me and Georgia had been seeing each other or whatever, and she was wanting to take it to the next step, and I wasn't quite ready for that. I was still I just stopped being a previous relationship. I didn't want to just rush into things, so I had booked a holiday with my wee mate Jim, and Georgia, she wasn't no happy about it, but she wasn't exactly. You weren't exactly pleased either. Know what I mean? So the night before it, Georgia was running at my house, and my passports went missing.
It was nothing to do.
It was nothing to do with you, but let us know. Right, she's gave the answer, but let's pretend we don't know the answer to the question. Right, let's pretend we don't know the end to the story. What would any of yous, right, especially the guys out there, I'm wanting your comments, right? Obviously, there's many of yous watching than there is the woman, but it's all the woman not a comment, so I need yous all to comment on this, please, guys. I need yous all for it, right? Just imagine yous had booked up to go to Amsterdam. Your missus or the girl that you're seeing at the time comes round to your house. Next day, you look for your passport. You had it that day, by the way, when she was in your house. You did have the passport then. Next day, you go looking for it, and it can't be found anywhere. What conclusion are you coming to? I tell you when I came to, that she'd stole it, that she had it around her house, and it was going to magically appear after it.
And it wasn't me.
It wasn't her, to be fair. It was down the side of the couch.
So I'm glad you found it.
And then I ended up when I found it, I set it on fire, not realising that I could use it as ID and stuff like that. And because obviously I'm very stupid, so I lose stuff all the time. So I've had a spare ID that would been good. And I also flung it out in the wee. So I don't know if anybody's had a house like this, but like your windows come out. It's like a wee conservative. It's not a conservative. It's just like a wee ledge bit.
It's like your bay window.
And I flung the on fire passport out, and it just burnt up against the wall. And like if you actually go out the house now, you can still see there's like a big burnt bit on the old house.
That is just a typical thing that you would do.
And then I jumped out, obviously, and put it out when somebody reminded me. I could have used it for ID. If Jim was like, oh, I saw a kin, man. I'm on the wee bridge, kicking out, get. So I
know, right?
Very, very good stories from Amsterdam. Amsterdam's a favourite place of mine. I'd actually like to go back.
So Curtis, if you do decide to go to Amsterdam, I don't think it will be you and your partner will have an experience like that. Certainly not. Don't
kid on that you woke up in Amsterdam because you've got a podcast to record on Saturday. Or I mean, do it and might get good fucking traction for the studio.
Right, so in the last couple of weeks we have been doing our emotions, different emotions, but because we just did emotions on Monday, we've decided to change it up a bit. Change it up since it's Thursday. Mm-hmm. And we are going to talk about things that we don't get the hype about. So I've put a couple down in the list. Do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first?
You go first, because I forgot about this, so I'm going to come up with ones in my head while going. But I don't get a lot of things, to be fair, so I'll have no problem thinking. Okay,
so the first one I don't get the hype about, which I feel like two of mine are very controversial. It's a big word for me.
It is,
I'm impressed.
I'd love to see you spell it.
Right, first one is Friends.
Friends is not.
I said this on work today, and Caitlin and Ross and my team thought I meant having pals, and I was like, well, that is, I don't get the hype about that either. I'm the most antisocial person in the world. I actually put down on there socialising in general. I don't get the hype about that, but Friends, as in the TV programme, like seeing people quote Friends all the time, I'm like, it's not funny.
I don't actually think Friends is funny either, and I grew up with it because my mum used to love it, but I've always thought it was shite. I just think it's just pish patter. You know what I mean? I think a lot of things with laugh tracks in the back kind of fool people into thinking they're funny.
When I was young, I used to think that behind the camera there was like an audience laughing, and actually then I grew up to learn that it's just like
some shows are like that. Mrs. Brown's Boys has Mrs. Boys Browns. No, Mrs. Brown's Boy has that in Govern the film, and it's like alive to the audience.
I've been before.
Have you?
Me, my mum and Shannon went. Actually, we went to the pavilion to see that, and see that what I did in there. Actually, I was a bit younger, and I was just thinking, the fuck is going on in here? But it was really funny. It was brilliant. Aye, it was good.
So stuff that I don't get the hype about is Love Island, right?
Here we go.
The reason I don't get the hype
watching it next year, rate it on the podcast.
I fucking love it. I mean, honestly, I'd rather fucking make up with my dad. Fuck's sake. Anyway, so what I was saying there, I Love Island, especially because a lot of guys try and tell me, oh, you don't know what you're missing and stuff like that, and I do know what I'm missing. Absolute shite, know what I mean? It's just people sent to an island who all want to be famous. Maybe I could maybe go and watch the first season, know what I mean, when it wasn't about everybody trying to get famous, but now it is, nobody wants to find love on that show. They just want to find 1 million followers on Instagram and a wee blue tick and that. And fair play, I'm no moaning because I'm in the game as well. I'm chasing all that. Not to talk about. No, I mean, I wouldn't go. I don't think I would be the person that Love Island would be looking for anyway. But I get the game. I try to find followers, but you don't need to lie about it. And obviously, all these people are lying. Victory for myself and the people that hate Love Island. Your Tommy Fury and Molly May are no more. Georgia's actually heavy growling at me, giving me daggers for saying that, because obviously she is a Molly May stan, but I don't give a fuck about them. Get it up them.
That's a shame.
They are talentless hacks.
David messaged me the day they broke up, and I was in work and I had the sort, and he was like, I hope you're okay. And I said, how it's Ryan? And then he sent me, I was like, oh, I think I'm about to cry. That is honestly heartbreaking. You just don't understand.
I don't understand how
it'd be
people
like Stephanie and Triple H breaking up. Stephanie McMahon and Triple H. You'd be greeting, wouldn't you?
No, until as long as hopefully they just don't sack him for the company.
You like hopefully just makes way for us two to get in.
Aye, but no, I just don't see the hype about Love Island, so that's my thing. And then obviously I don't see the hype either of just because one couple actually stuck together for a wee bit after it, why they should be elevated into being famous and everybody care about what they do, but they actually do accept it.
But it's like people following you.
I do stuff. I feel like I make fun of videos.
With people on TikTok?
It's dramas. Jerry Springer was one of the best shows. And Jerry
Kyle, I love Jerry Springer.
Exactly. See, and that is drama. That is drama. People love drama. That's probably how I don't do as much views anymore, because I need to try and rein it in, because I teach kids how to wrestle, so I can't argue with people as much. I
mean, I feel like if I didn't actually remind you at least once a week that you teach kids and you can't keep arguing with people, you would be gone full throttle with these people on TikTok.
Definitely. If you come to the king, you best know this.
David's opinion on trolls on TikTok is that they actually don't not like him. They're just dying for his attention. So he's like, they're only commenting for me to reply back to them so they get their wee 5 seconds of fame.
Obviously, I've had over 1,000 trolls. Had not one person saying bad or nasty to me in the street. No, I mean, so I'm surely if they were all wanting to battle me or do whatever they've done, surely they had somebody say something to me by now. Actually, I remember the one time I did bump into a troll with all his wee pals, even said, does he usually trolls you online? I was like, is it wee man you want a picture? And he's like, aye, they actually. You know what I mean? So that's what they're wanting your attention, and I'm actually bad for it myself. I don't really ever reply to the pot. Well, I do reply to, but I don't shine a spotlight on the positive comments that people give me by making videos and that, but as they say myself, because I know that the ones that are getting wide, if I slaughter them, it will do numbers. It's bad for myself. I probably should put spotlight more on people that are being nice to me, but again, it's no drama, is it? And people love a bit of drama.
Right, okay, so number 2 for me, I don't get the hype about Red Bull, and it is so popular. I was going to put Monster down there, but I know that would create a full-on argument because you've become a Monster fan this year.
No, to be fair, I only like this one because it tastes like niceness.
But I don't like Red Bull. You couldn't pay me money to drink it. I used to drink Red Bull in my vodka. Well, like Blue Charge for Asda years ago. And I honestly would never go near that now. What's your thoughts on Red Bull? I don't really like it either. That's why I actually like Monster, you see, because amount of times that
obviously I like playing the computer and stuff, so there's been a amount of times that me and my mates have been wanting to stay up late in game, and then I'll get like Monster and it just tastes like battery acid, tastes like piss, don't really like it. So that's why I actually like Monster, because what actually happened was how I started getting into energy drinks was somebody gave me Prime Energy, and it was like a gift off one of the parents because I was doing the summer camp and I was getting a bit more tired because of how much I was working. So I tried it and it was actually very nice, tasted very nice, so I started drinking Prime. And then when I was going down to the TNA tryouts, one of the, the TNA down in Newcastle to referee, one of the wrestlers that I was going down with had a big 12-pack of these, and he offered me one. At first I said, no, I'm not into that, I just like the Prime. And he said, no, this is actually nice. And I said, you know what, we were driving back from Newcastle by the point that I'd end up, I eventually tried it because I was getting a bit tired and I thought, oh well, I'll try it. I tried it, it's actually very nice, and now I've got probably what you would maybe call an addiction, a problem.
Quite a serious addiction.
Yes, so I probably need to stop drinking them next year.
You've been buying them in abundance.
And drinking them in abundance as well.
Yes.
So that needs to stop.
Right, what's your second one you don't get the hype about?
I don't get the hype about mushrooms. I do not.
Anybody does.
Well, no, there's a lot of people that like. There's people that if you love a mushroom, you love a mushroom. You know what I mean? And I just don't get it. It's like it literally is a fungus. You know what I mean? It is a fun guy. You know what I mean? As some would say, but no, it's just disgusting. I don't like them. Georgia will cut them up into wee tiny pieces and put them in my spaghetti bolognese. I think I'll no notice. I can notice. I'm just not going to greet about a wee tiny piece of mushroom in my food, but I don't like it. It's barking of absolute mince. No mince, because mince is nice. It's barking at absolute mushroom, which is shite. And then that's just the wee one. See people, I don't know how, but see people that eat like big mushrooms. Like, I love watching cooking channels and stuff like that and cooking shows, and see when they whip out like a big portobello mushroom or one of these big fat things, I'm like, get a grip of your life, man. If I was a judge, I would scold that nothing, because that is fucking rotten. Anyway, that's one of my, I don't get the hype about mushrooms, and people that like mushrooms, I am a bit wary of you.
See, I actually used to put mushrooms in my food just because I thought they were healthy, and I'd actually be bolting trying to eat them, and I thought, why am I actually forcing myself to eat these? But I knew David didn't like mushrooms, and I used to put them in his spaghetti bolognese, and one day we were actually having a discussion about food that we didn't like, whilst eating the bolognese, and he's like, I actually hate mushrooms, and I was like, you're actually eating them right now.
And remember, obviously, we put up on TikTok about how you had spied me with mushrooms, and then that lassie had went into like anaphylactic shock or something on TikTok, and people thought we were like, taking the cunt at them, and we were just actually being serious that you had just put 5 mushrooms into my plate. And remember
and people were raging.
People think, what are we talking about?
I think it was just somebody who took a really bad allergic reaction at the time, just as I
at the
gave
same
you
time
mushrooms.
as you'd done that, people
that
thought
was just a coincidence, and then people were actually going in on us. So I was like, I don't even like them either. I'm just doing this because I feel like it's healthy.
But so mushrooms, honestly, see if you like mushrooms. I tell you what to do with them. Get your mushrooms, open up the pack of them, right? Get the biggest one out, get a wee wash, turn it sideways and shove it straight up your smelly, rotten arse.
David McCallum, that is disgusting. Doesn't
It's all mushrooms, man. That's how I feel about mushrooms.
Right, okay, well, we'll move on then.
Right,
the last one that I've got is, I don't know if guys will get this, but women will. I don't get the hype right now that's going on with balloons. Like, so people are buying balloons for every occasion. Like, so the wee man's made his bed for the first time. Here's a balloon. Wee man's done a jobby in the sink for the first time. Here's a balloon. You get a balloon. You get a balloon. All the balloons, and they're pure expensive. I'm like, why are you all buying balloons? It's got to stop. And they're getting bigger, and there's balloons inside the balloons, and then they've got names, got writing on them. People are offering to give the balloons away for nothing. You can rip the letters off. You can
money
recycle
balloons,
the balloons.
what?
Aye, but come on. Even the elf in the shells are delivering the balloons at fucking the 1st of December. It's honestly unreal. Like, it's fucking money to burn.
Right, well, I do agree. Also, I'll actually take it even a step further, because there's people that actually inhale balloons, know what I mean, for a buzz, and I think that's mentally ridiculous, because back when I was younger, people that inhaled gas were considered junkies, but now, because they're doing it out a cool wee balloon, and people do it in Ibiza, it's nice and trendy. So that's another thing about balloons that I think are maybe a bit. I don't get the hype.
But it's actually no right. Everybody's just getting balloons for everything these days. Poor Bo gets the number of his birthday, and that'll be where it ends.
That's probably too far, to be fair. Not
I know, and then it's like,
it's good that you've said that now, because now birthdays, when I get sent on that wee show in Craig, but no, George, actually you don't see the hype about these, so I don't know why you're sending them in here. Fuck's sake, driving around bikes with fucking.
That was on my 30th.
Your birthday, to be fair, aye.
Right, on you go. Let's your last thing.
Wait, I don't see the hype about, right, so I don't see the hype about. There's a lot of things I don't see the hype about, but
here we go. This is twice this week.
I don't see the hype about.
I mean, I'm no shocked that you forgot, but I did say
I don't see the hype about the English Premier League. So you'll say one about the guys for the women. I'll say one for the guys, right? I think football in this generation is absolutely feg-upped, and I don't see the hype about the English Premier League. Everybody moans about how it's a two-team league in Scotland, Celtic and Rangers. In England, it is pretty much the exact same. It's just it's not even a two-team league now. It's just a one-team league with Manchester City, and the rest of them are all feeding for the scraps. They've got all this money in it, and most games are quite boring. It's finished 0-0 or 1 each, 2 each, things like that. And I just think it's overhyped, especially when you consider the money that's put into it. I also think that just in general, football is, everything's getting a bit more boring, because, like, for example, right now we're in the transfer window where usually a lot of signings happen, but I feel like all the teams now, especially the good teams, just get all their business done very quick, so to sort everything out, so you're not really getting, like, it's a transfer deadline in 2 days. Usually that'd be teams scrambling to try and get players in, but I feel like all the big teams get their players in early, and then the other teams are left to scrape about, and with that as well, all the teams are a lot more organised and stuff, so it's more about passing. You don't get any like mavericks anymore, players that are willing to take on the man and try and create something. It's a lot more coordinated and planned out, regimented, which obviously is good for the teams and the fans of the teams that are winning like 3-4-0. But if you're just a casual viewer, then it might not be as exciting.
Okay.
So that's
obviously,
I don't get that.
That's a bit of a struggle for me to understand, but I take your word for it. I always get a bit wary when I hear you talking about football, because if you don't know, David used to have one of his many TikToks that he had all going at actively. I mean, you talk about me in the notepad, you had like 5 TikToks all on the go.
I know, some of them actually like 10,000 followers, and I'm locked out, I can't even get back into them.
So he had one called Scheme Sports News, which was basically him just commenting on all different things in football, but it got to a point where people were asking him questions and he would reply, and some of them were quite vulgar, to the point all the guys in my work were watching them. People were randomly coming up to me and wanting, saying, "Ha, who's got the biggest beep in the SPFL?" And I'm thinking, I don't know what you're talking about. And they're like, "Did you not see what Davie said about that guy that wrestles for Dunfermline or something? Was it that plays football for Dunfermline?" I'm like, "Oh, please stop. Like, why are you posting all this stuff?" So yes, I'm kind of glad you looked out of that account, to be fair.
I was just trying to do too many things. You know what I mean? I was getting told off internet gurus that you should have 4 TikToks, 5 TikToks, and be posting all different things, and it didn't work. So
you just stick to the one.
I just stick to the one. Even that now, that's not working as much.
And people, every time I'm on your page, people are writing, "Oh, you fell off," and I said to David, "See, as long as you've no fell off in real life, then why would people care?" Like, I think a lot of people think that getting X amount of views on your TikTok replicates how your actual real life is. I always say you've got real life, then you've got your TikTok life, and both of them are actually two different things. Whereas probably for David, when he didn't work as much, you had all this time to make all this
Good
specific content that people were looking for.
We'll be bike cycling to shite restaurants to get their food reviews.
Whereas actually now, in your real life, you're actually living all the dreams that you set out to do. So I always say, as long as your real life's gone well, then don't worry about anything else.
Aye, true. But it's just one of the ones, isn't it? I actually would like to get into I figured out how to do like captions and stuff, so I'm all wanting to. I've got a wee bug about getting back and making better content. Just everything kind of needs to fall into place with that. I feel like this year I have run myself ragged with promoting shows and stuff, and it's put away from things that I think that could actually help promote the shows in a better way if I was like making videos and stuff. So next year there's going to be a lot of changes for that kind of stuff, and we're going to try and get back onto the TikTok. Never know, it might just be that I'm just a bit older now and all the people that are on TikTok just don't get my shite, you know what I mean? I had a good run so far. If that was the case, I've had 10-11 years on social media. I've been popular, so if I have fallen off, it was a good run, you know what I mean?
That's nice. So anyway, round it up just by talking about what we're up to, because now after tonight, the night is the 29th of August, but we won't be back in here until the 9th of September. So we're going to keep a note, well, I'll keep a note of things that we've been up to in the time that we've been away.
A big long episode then.
What'd you say?
Probably a bit the longest episode.
Yeah, I think the episodes have been going up and up in time, so we're obviously settling in. But so this weekend I am doing something exciting. It's my sister's getting married next year in September, so we've got a few wedding dresses. But you've got a poker night. Aye,
so WWE this year have been doing a lot more shows all over the world, Europe and stuff. So we had the Clash at the Castle in Scotland a couple of months ago. We had the Backlash in Lyon, and now this Saturday there is WWE Bash at Berlin, which, funnily enough, is happening in Berlin. So me and a couple of the boys got to get together, go up to his house, watch it, and we were actually talking a couple of weeks ago about how when you get older as a guy, what do you start doing? And we were all kind of talking about how we would all like to start playing poker and that. So I think this is just came at the right time. We're going to have a wee poker night and see where that goes. So I'm actually really looking forward to it. I've told them all it's a 20 quid buy-in. They're saying 10 quid, so majority is going to rule. I'd probably get beat anyway. It's probably for my good that it's a tenner buy-in, because if it was 20 quid I'd just be throwing 20 quid away instead of 10 quid, but I'm just there for the fun of it, you know what I mean? And that's the main thing. So got to be doing that on Saturday, and hopefully it becomes a more regular thing. But even we were saying that, like, guys getting to meet up and play a game of poker, it's probably like every 2 months or something that will actually happen, which would be good. So here's hoping I'll come back to you and let you know. I feel like I'm just rambling on a wee bit of shite now. So that's what I'm doing on Saturday. Sunday, wrestling school. I'll be doing wrestling school on Saturday as well, but wrestling Saturday, Sunday, and then just promote.
That's right, but I think we've covered everything for this week.
We've covered it. Now I'm off to see Blink-182. Courtney Kardashian's boyfriend on the drums. Let's go.
Thank yous. Bye.
Cheerio.